When you're renting, home security gets a little bit tricky. You need to think about a few things that homeowners don't need to consider, like are you even allowed to install extra security? So I'm here to help you figure out the best type of security to protect your home, whether you own it or not. So by the end of this video, you will be ready to amp up your rental security with confidence. Let's talk about the features that you want to look for to make sure that the security system that you get is renter friendly. All right, equipment ownership is important to consider when you're renting because your lease is going to end at some point and you are going to want to take your investment with you. Companies like Simply Safe, Ring, and Abode are really great for this because you buy the equipment outright and you own it. It's yours to keep. And a starter kit for any of these is going to run you from around $200 to about $500. And that is possibly more doable than being in a big contract. And this equipment will be yours no matter where you move. Even if you end up buying a home, you can take it with you. There are companies that don't require an upfront equipment purchase, like ADT, Link Interactive, and Protect America, that are still good. They're very much like FrontPoint, where you'll get a DIY kit and you can set it up yourself and move it with you, but they will require a contract. And what they're doing with that is they're technically leasing the equipment to you, so in your monthly fee, you're basically paying off the equipment. However, at the end of that contract, or if you move, you might have to send the equipment back and order all new equipment. Or if you're with ADT, typically you leave the equipment in the place, which might be a deal breaker if your landlord is not thrilled that you're leaving an ADT system in their property. So that's something to consider when you're finding the right security system for your rental. Installing your security system. So this can be tricky when you're renting because you're going to be responsible if you put any holes in the walls or if you mess up the wiring, and that will not be fun to deal with or pay for. So we recommend that you look for wireless equipment that you can install yourself. Like this is the base station for Simply Safe, and it will just sit on a table or a counter and it's going to do its job. You don't have to put anything into the walls, which is awesome. And there is an option though to get a professional installer to come in and install the equipment, which might be tempting if you're doing more complicated stuff like security cameras in specific areas, but you definitely want to clear any of that with your landlord before you do it. And one thing to note, there are a few systems out there that promote themselves as wireless, but they actually have a control panel that you're going to have wired into the wall. And that's something that obviously you won't be able to take with you. So you're going to be left with taking that out and fixing the wall before you move. So that might not be your best choice. Most DIY installed systems come with adhesives. They have like command strips already on them and you just pop them onto the wall and you're good to go. But the downside to that is when we've had a system in place for a while, and maybe just for a few months, we have found that sometimes the peel and stick method leads to a sensor falling down at like 2 in the morning, and then you're awakened and terrified, and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and it's just that the motion sensor went crashing to the floor. So I recommend checking the security of those self-adhesive monitors regularly so that you don't end up scared awake in the middle of the night. All right, finally, size. Size matters when it comes to your home security system. And you need to make sure that you get the right system for the size of your apartment, condo, or home that you're renting. The bare minimums that you need for any security system are a central control panel or hub, preferably with a siren that will go off if the security system is breached. A motion detector somewhere near your main entrance so that you're going to be able to tell if something's coming and going in that high traffic area. And contact sensors on your front door and any other doors or windows that could be accessed by someone. So if you're on a main floor, almost all those doors and windows are going to be able to be accessed by somebody. I'm currently on the 4th floor, so I don't have sensors on any of the windows or on my patio door, but I have a security camera with motion detection in the main room, and that covers what I need. So you don't need to go overboard, but you can add some extras to your security system if you're renting and you want a little more of a smart home feeling. So if you're looking for a little bit more than just simple security to keep the bad people out, and you're not in like a swanky new building with cool extra built-in security and smart home features, you might want to consider adding things like a security camera. Again, indoors is probably where you're going to have to do that because you probably won't be able to put something in a hallway if you're sharing living space. There are peephole cameras. Again, check on the legality of that. Smart locks, you could add a smart lock. And one of the very best ones to use if you're renting is called the August lock, and it fits on the inside of your door, and it is goes right over your existing deadbolt. And it just makes it smart, so it's gonna work on Bluetooth, and as you're approaching the door, you can unlock it. It'll automatically unlock. You can check if you get all the way to the car and you don't wanna climb up the stairs again to make sure you locked the door, just do it on your app, really cool. You could also add a smoke or carbon monoxide monitoring device. There's listening devices that will talk to the hub of your home security system and send you an alert if your smoke alarm goes off. So you don't have to wait until there's smoke billowing out the windows. You can just get an early alert. So here's a recap of the most important things to consider when you're looking for a renter-friendly security system. First of all, you want a short or no contract option so that you're not tied in longer than your lease. You want wireless equipment, including the control panel that's not going to put holes in the walls and that can move with you when it's time to go. I think DIY installation is what you're after because you don't have to coordinate strangers coming in and getting that approved by the property manager. The size of the system, size counts, don't get more than you need. You can make it much more affordable if you just pay attention to those key security areas, which means your upfront cost is something to keep an eye on. Safewise.com has all of the answers for you. We've done thousands of hours of research and testing with these systems in different environments so that we can put together the best resources to help you stay safe at home, whether you rent or own your house. So go to Safewise.com to find out our top security system recommendations for renters. Plus, we have a bunch of extra safety tips for every living situation, whether it's living in an apartment or how to survive with your roommates.